Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we want to discuss about an Aqidah issue in Malaysia, which is fandom, views from the angle of Aqidah and concept of the culture of Hedonism. Aqidah is the root of Islam. It is the first thing that brought by Rasulullah to change the belief of the Jahiliyah Arab community to have faith in Allah. Aqidah also serves as a guideline in our life. The understanding of the Islamic faith will be a factor encouraging Muslim individuals to do good deeds. Aqidah Islamiyah is a special term that refers to a strong faith and certainty to Allah by performing all obligations, monetizing Him and obeying Him, believing in His angel, His messengers, the book, the hereafter, the destiny of good and bad, and things that are unseen. In the context of the Muslim community in Malaysia, the issue of faith that occurred among the ancients is about the belief of supernatural power that can help them avoid evil or misfortune or can realize their desires. In this regard, there is a ceremony of devil worship or worship of objects such as daggers, talismans, statues that is believed to give good luck or protection to the owner. This contradicts to the creed and can lead to shirk of Allah. Nevertheless, the issue of faith that occurs in this age of technology is different. People are more easily influenced by the things that they see on the internet, so they become obsessed with something or an individual. For example, the greed for power and wealth that teach them to live a godly life. But the issue that we want to discuss here is about the over-obsession of fandom towards any individuals or celebrity in the world of entertainment. This recently became a serious topic among the Muslim community as it related to the faith of the believers.
My name is Fatina Biha binti Zainuddin, 1192406. Problems in fandom arise day by day. It is proven when the internet is appeared. Before the existence of internet, fans only able to see their idols through television only. But with the internet, they can connect with their idols on various platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, streaming live such as YouTube and others. The term media fandom showed up within the 1970s. However, in Islam, it is forbidden to be fanatical because it against the concept of Islam, which are fair and modest attitude, such as in the Quran verses 19 Surah An-Nahl. So, in the report, in a nutshell, fanatical can give harm to themselves and to those around them. That's all from me.
The culture of fandom is not all that bad. Truthfully, being a fan is actually natural for human beings in terms of having the feeling of awe and admiration on whatever that attracts their sentiments. Even so, as Muslims, we should be aware of being moderate is the best, especially in the aspect of entertainment. Islam does not restrict its followers from seeking entertainment as long as it does not go beyond the limits of Islamic law and does not neglect to carry out the religious orders. Moderation is very important in pursuit of entertainment. However, nowadays, unfortunately, the unexpected happens where Muslims are being thoughtless about how dangerous this culture could be if exaggerating regarding to the devotion and dedication. This is due to the possibility of destroying the moral principles and the construction of the principles of Islam religion itself. This culture of overly adoration, adulation and praise can be mostly coming as a product of globalization in the field of fun or entertainment, thus has eroded the moral of Muslims. If examined from this perspective of Islamic law, it is not only eroding the moral of Muslims, it also will deconstruct faith.
Definition of fandom, noun from the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, is the state of being a fan of somebody or something, or the fans of a particular person, team, TV show, and etc. considered together as a community. What a fandom? We should understand whether we recall people, fans with some sort of fame. As a rule, they have developed their own culture devoted to idols now known as fandom. The community does not just assemble around famous celebrities, musicians or athletes, and shared hobbies or a kind of interest will unite people. In certain ways, fandom might sound like a really modern internet-based trend, but millennials were far from the first people to get very excited about their favorite things. Even before the internet was invented, fan clubs were distributing fan magazines, hosting cons, composing fanfic, and making followers. The term fandom too has been around for a long time, more than a century, in fact. It is not enough to be a fandom member just to be involved in the particular topic. It is important to take part in the sharing of information, and it can be said as the uniqueness of the existence of a fan culture. Nowadays, such exchanges take place mainly on the internet, but there are many classic farm interest clubs, thematic publications, multi-level congresses from regional to international, and so on. Like every subculture movement, every fandom is unique in its own way. Its customs are born over time, it has its own structure and slang emerge, which is often understood only by the members of this community. However, over time the term is very popular and has become a hallmark of the K-pop world. In the world of K-pop, the word fandom is an acronym for the fan kingdom that corresponds to the fan club of the Korean idols. The first issue is the existence of a new religion. The South Korean entertainment industry, or known as K-pop, is gaining around in the hearts of fans. Only look at their aura before they successfully extend their wings to Hollywood and are globally recognized. It's certainly a great accomplishment and it should be feared by other artists. Just look at our country. They managed to build their own community of fans so that there are movements that promote all the actions of the favorite K-pop stars. It sounds a little absurd. According to the Twitter share, they are followers of the BTS group known as ARMY cause they are too obsessed with them. This is much sadder as they are forming a new religion. The religion is promoting the BTS group as the mainstay. Within this regard, they call it BTS religion. Initially, this was used only in nearby countries. According to a user on Twitter, the religion is said to have originated in Indonesia and started to spread to Malaysia via the Telegram application. Recently, it is said that a new religion has been introduced to Malaysia. Of necessity, this issue is a national concern about the delay of the younger generation, which is starting to deviate from the religion. According to the sharing on Twitter, the BTS religion also has its own pillars and phrases for those who want to follow it. It should not be considered a joke, since there are aspects that play a religious role in society. Before they claim to be followers of the religion, they must cultivate the 5 pillars of the BTS religion and call the BTS member their god and worship by watching the group sing 5 times a day. However, there are also armies that claim the religion was created by BTS haters who plan to tarnish the reputation of the K-pop club. BTS fans in Malaysia have denied the claim that the group was made up of fans from Malaysia. She said that the action not only insults religion but also caused defamation against Malaysia's BTS army. It is even sadder and worse in the country because the Jalur Gemilang logo is in the Telegram group. The truth is, Malaysian fans are not fanatical or obsessive to that extent but just express their passion in BTS music and their careers when they gather. Harian Metro's report of 7 May 2020. Meanwhile, another member of ARMY BTS Malaysia posted a screenshot of the Telegram group on Twitter asking for support from followers to report to the account owner instead of insulting someone. She also hoped that the matter would be taken seriously by the government of both countries as the slander would have much greater consequences than the murder. It is real as they said that we're trying to picture young people who are already raw joining the group only because they are involved in BTS without understanding much about it. What about their beliefs?
So, another issue of fanatic fans is shuriken anime. Anime refers to animation from Japan adapted from manga, which is the Japanese comic. It is gaining ground in the hearts of cartoon and animation fans not only in Malaysia but all over the world. Various genres that meet the needs of entertainment from childhood, adolescence to adulthood make anime quite popular everywhere, so it triggers a phenomenon in the world of animation itself. Various characters, superheroes, dramatic action, exciting visual as well as boring and unpredictable storyline are all the attraction to watch anime. Anime are reflections of fantasy, belief, values, and myths of Japanese society. Nowadays, same as K-pop fans, anime fans also can be included as fanatism in one of the main issues. Teenagers nowadays mostly like to watch anime, but they are also become fanatics with it, which has the same issues as K-pop fan. Another thing that is worrying now is that this anime can be watched regardless of time and places with the availability of unlimited internet technologies and borders that also present teenagers with various stories and anime characters that are not filtered at all. Now anime has become a favorite entertainment material for children and teenagers from all over the world, including Malaysia itself. The screening of this anime series also brings foreign cultures, especially Japan, to the minds of our teenagers. But what is now disturbing is that the availability of unrestricted internet technologies and boundaries has made teens deviate from the Aqidah by making memes that assimilate anime characters to gods. The term "the power of God" in anime and memes has become popular for teens to joke while chatting with friends on social media. Even this is only a joke, we ought to know how big the sin of shirk is to Allah because it includes Aqidah. A meme is an idea, action or design that becomes a fad that spreads by imitation from person to person with a culture and sometimes hold a symbolic significance that reflects a specific concept or theme. As an example, like the famous anime Naruto that most of the people know about it, has a slight issues about it and it is being observed properly. I will let my friends tell you more about it.
If the famous Japanese #1 anime Naruto being observed properly, it is full of mystical elements. Among the obvious black art in the animation of Naruto are: first, Wafa, which is drawing diagram calling; second, summoning jutsu including Kuchiyose no Jutsu mantras and Wafa to excite or summon creatures from afar to come in the blink of an eye. Children can be manipulated easily in imitating what they see. Therefore, those who are obsessed with this anime will memorize the pronunciation of mantras and wafa without understanding that reading the black magic can lead them to shirk. Next is views from Aqidah perspective. Obsession with something can affect the Aqidah of a person. This is because the obsession will lead them to not consider the thoughts and the words of others. Aqidah means, in terms of the word, a sure conviction and a final judgment not mixed up with uncertainty. Islamic religion is faith and trust in Allah and His Messenger and what the Prophet has brought to life. The pillar of the Aqidah is the oneness of Allah and He Himself has the right to be worshipped. Recently, the issue of fanatism is getting out of grasp. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden a fanatical attitude towards the previous ummah. This was stated in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 77 and the meaning is, "Say, O people of the book, do not go to extreme in your faith beyond the truth, nor follow the vain desires of those who went astray before you. They misled many and strayed from the right way." As a Muslim, we must follow all the instructions and leave his prohibitions. Another hadith that proves Islam doesn't favor a person that do things excessively is from Abdullah bin Mas'ud radhiyallahu anhuma that the Prophet ﷺ said 3 times, "Destroy the extremists." There are many cases in Malaysia involving fanatical Muslim fans who tarnish the name of Islam by shirk to Allah. For example, when they compare anime characters to God with the use of memes as a joke. This is very dangerous because when this matter is a custom, of course it can damage their belief. This is because when they support this act, they seem to be mocking the verses of the Quran, which already clearly forbids free association.
Apart from that, anime that contain elements of idolatry can deviate our beliefs. If we learn and embody Tawhid properly, we will know how great the jealousy of Allah in this matter of shirk. This was clearly stated in Hadith. إن الله يغار وغيرة الله أن يأتي المؤمن ما حرم الله. That has meaning. Allah has a sense of ghayra, and Allah's sense of ghayra is provoked when a believer does something which Allah has prohibited. And it is also mentioned in the other hadith that Sa'ad bin Ubadah radiyallahu anhu said, لو رأيت رجلا مع امرأتي لضربته بالسيف غير مصفحة. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أتعجبون من غيرة سعد لأن أغير منه والله أغير مني. That has meaning, if I saw a man with my wife, I will surely cut him with a sword. The speech finally reached the Prophet. Then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do you feel surprised by Sa'ad's jealousy? By God, I am more jealous of him and God is more jealous of me. Other than that, the underage fanatics need to be monitored by their parents or guardian. This is because there are many cases of heresy have occurred, which is the cause from their obsession with the artists they are interested in. Some even created a new religion through WhatsApp group, which is the religion of their favorite idol group. This is very dangerous because it can manipulate many young people who still cannot distinguish between what's good for them and what's bad for them. So they will be easily influenced. So parents or guardian need to control and monitor their activities from time to time so that they will not go overboard. Next, Islam taught us to not associate closely with infidels, except for necessities only, and this is also has its limitation, because this is for our own benefits. This is because we are weak and easily influenced by something.
Definition of hedonism noun from the Webster's New World College Dictionary 4th edition is the ethical doctrine that pleasure variously conceived of in terms of happiness of the individual or of society or the principal good and the proper aim of action. The current scenario reveals that the Islamic world has been subjected to the ideology of hedonism by the mechanism of socio-cultural globalization. In a number of mediums, young people are the primary priority to accomplish this aim. It is also not shocking that the ideals of the community, socio-cultural heritage, known for the virtuous values, have gone through the process of degradation and have been replaced by a structure based on the ethos of hedonism. This trend seems to be shaped its own ritual, life ideals, and ideology to replace the socio-cultural structure that has long been adopted by society. Therefore, in the passion of teenagers to follow a free and happy lifestyle, they are able to do a variety of things that can offer maximum fulfillment and enjoyment, including in ways that can damage the faith of Muslims. Such a lifestyle tends to be a prestigious sign in the system of social stratification in hedonism. The value of this culture among teens can be seen in a lifestyle that emphasizes intense entertainment. Today, in the modern era, the Muslim community faces a range of problems that can undermine the spiritual ideals found in its teaching. Without a solid Aqidah shield, Muslims would not be able to face enemy assaults from a range of angles.
Various manifestations of the assaults of the enemies of Islam can be seen in the birth of ideologies and philosophic currents bred beneath monism, including hedonistic doctrines. The weakening of this pure faith belief would give rise to skeptical groups. Islam does not prohibit the people from finding peace in their life, yet the excessive propensity to enjoyment and amusement makes human beings reckless and careless with the threats of the world. Such a society is like fighting the flesh but destroying the spirit. The happiness felt is just temporary, not true serenity. Indeed, the ideology of hedonism is far from the instruction of Islam, which is rich with praiseworthy, noble values. What is obvious is that society is opposed to Islam religions in the extreme worship class. Monistic religion is the backbone of faith. Allah is the conclusion of a Muslim individual's life. Islam is really concerned about the ideology that is trying to disturb the Muslims. This is because if these thoughts are not controlled, they will harm the convictions of the Muslim. While the Aqidah is a cornerstone of human life entire planning, particularly those who touch on the planning aspect of the Ummah, the topic of faith would typically also include the issues of belief. The definition of faith is about a person that says true faith who has three essential components, including a clear faith-based conviction, the presence of a genuine element of submission on in the human heart to what he believes, and ultimately there is an element of triggering or internal stimulation in the individual to translate the entire idea of his faith in the individual, and in fact by aiming for cooperation. In relation to the above description, it is clear that the ideology of Hedonism is contradictory to the belief of the Muslim. This is because the philosophy of Hedonism emphasizes freedom of expressions, while Islamic belief positions the Quran and the Sunnah as the core of universal thought. Moreover, in the sense of goodness to the person, the Islamic view is counter to the idea of goodness in the conduct of Hedonism. Islam sees the idea of prosperity as a part of the growth of the Ummah, which emphasizes on the element of development, focus on divinity or spirituality opposed to material advancement, so that humans will not only get good in this universe, but also get good in the hereafter. While the idea of goodness brought on by Hedonism is one that takes the shapes of faith.
The next part is about the significance or the importance of this issue or discussion. We are discussing about fandom issues. So why is it so significant to be discussed on? The first one is because it affects the young Muslims' faith or religion. Why is that so? Because these fanatic fans, which includes the young Muslims, they are actually devoting themselves to their celebrities, to their idols. So this is relating to their Aqidah, to their soul. Imagine if young Muslims to their souls or Aqidah of it get destroyed days by days because of this fandom thing. So this will lead to what will happen to our future Muslim generations. What will happen to their Aqidah? So this is why we need solutions for this issue, because it is very severe and it needs solution. The second one is because it is contrary to the requirement of Islam in Surah Hud verse 116, and those who do wrong only mourn the luxurious pleasures that they have, and they are sinners. Why is that so? Because this issue is upholding the hedonism culture, which is absolutely going against Islam. And the third one is human relationships get destroyed also, because why these hedonist communities, they live by themselves, they enjoy their entertainment, that makes them istighna, which is self-sufficient. They don't need people anymore, they only need their celebrities.
Okay, next, let's talk about the effect of the excessive fanaticism and hedonism. This effect not only focusing for the individual but also focusing on the social interactions, country and religious. Alright, first the effect, which is the image of Islam will be worsening. Why I'm saying this is because when a Muslim becomes a fanatical fan of worshipping his idol too much to the point of being carried away by an attitude and so on, this is clearly contrary to what Islam is, then will be a slander to Islam. For example, a case that happened when a Korean artist died. There were many young Muslims who joined the mourning that triggered the Malaysia, which is the major Islamic country. The feeling of love is natural, but do not allow yourself to be too fanatical to violate the principles as Muslim. Islam is forbid its followers from engaging in all practice that are ritual in nature or resembling non-Muslim religions, because it can affect the Aqidah. Next, it will fade a religious value. It is because the culture of hedonism encourages human beings to give priority to personal pleasure and commit evil based on the too much on entertainment. Human relationships are not based on noble nature but based on the material value to be obtained. Thus, nowadays, society does not feel strange when children send their parents to a welfare home and the Islamic preacher who use the religious as their mounts to succeed and to be well known. Alright, and even worse, the major people who practicing this hedonism are mostly from the youngster, which is the start of very easy to be manipulated nowadays. Alright, so
for this issue is, first, we need to do self-reflection. For example, we can recite Al-Quran, we can do other things that can improve ourselves to being a good person. Like Allah says in Al-Quran that in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, remember me, I will remember you. For the second solution is, we must choose a right friend, because a right friend can be helpful a lot when you are really in real help. So for the third solution is, we need to seek Allah. And for the conclusion, we must search any solution that can solve our problem. We can get close to Allah and can improve ourselves to be a good person.